Welcome to the HAR-BER High School Performing Arts Center. We would like to remind you that HAR-BER High is a smoke-free campus. The use of any type of tobacco products is prohibited anywhere on this campus. In addition, we would like to draw your attention to the exit signs located above all exit doors in case of fire. Out of courtesy to others attending this event, we would like to remind our audience that entering and exiting the theater should be kept at a minimum. We ask that all cell phones be silenced or turned off. If your child becomes restless, we ask that you accompany them outside the auditorium. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Glad that you could make it out tonight. I know it's busy, but it is beautiful outside, so it's kind of a good night to get out and just get some more sunshine if you had to be in a building all day. I'm Stephanie Anderson, principal at Helen Tyson Middle School, and it is definitely an honor and a privilege to get to be here tonight and hear the amazing, truly amazing, and I know I say this every year, but parents, do you remember when they first got the instrument and you paid for it and you're super excited, or you're renting and you're all excited, and then they start practicing? Anyone feel like, oh, why did we pay for that? And why did we sign them up for this? This is going to be a really long year. And then now we've been listening to you practice, and it really is beautiful music. It truly is. And I have to tell you, recently we had some of our 6th grade lead students, kind of like student council, and they did a survey. And they actually presented to our leadership team this morning, and when we got the survey back, guess what the 2 number 1 choices were that students wanted to be involved with that kept them liking school? Music and band. So choir and band, or music in 6th grade. Those were their number 1 choices. And we can obviously see why. And not just in middle school, but as they go through junior high and high school, this may be what gets them to college. This may be what connects them and keeps them in school. And what a great program to be involved with. So I want to applaud you parents thank you for sticking it out this year and listening to all of the practicing, because it is paying off. So students, can we give your parents a round of applause and show them how much we appreciate their money and effort and time? Great. Okay, they're excited about you. Okay, the other part is I'd definitely like to thank Mr. Darrow, our Helen Tyson Middle School band director, along with Mr. Alonzo, Mr. Church, and Mr. Morris, because it is a collaborative effort in Springdale schools, and we all work together. And so you'll see the progression when they go on to Southwest and HAR-BER High School as well, and that continuum will continue to occur, and they will just grow and get better and better all the time. Just looking at the back of your handout, it's a full page, and that's very small print. That's a lot of kids. And we're so excited that they are involved and that they will continue to hopefully stay in fine arts, because it is a true blessing. I want to thank you also for this year. Sometimes I don't get to see you as often, but I want you to know, if you look at the Hornet Buzz that just will be coming home today, hopefully you got it, it's packed. We have a lot of great stuff going on. A lot of activities. We have skate night tomorrow night. We are full-fledged on finishing out this year, but I want us to finish strong. We still have class, too. Okay, that was a joke. Okay, they're ready to play. I'll get off the stage. But anyway, please check that out so you can know all the events that are coming on. But I do want you to know we are still having school every day. We are going to finish strong. Super proud of these kids, and thank you for being here tonight.
Just real quick before we start, I'm Mr. Darrow, and what you see on stage, most of you know this by now, is this is not what we see in the band room every day. Typically, we see maybe a few flute players in a class, and our double reed students and clarinets come twice or 2 times during the day. And so we never hardly see this group together. So we were able to get together for a little while on Friday afternoon as a full band, and today. So on this music, for the most part, all of these students have only been together 2 times. And so I've been quite amazed the growth that I've seen in 2 days, and I think you will be as well. Sometimes, when the students are working to advanced level at home, you're still going to hear those, oh my goodness, are they ever going to get better? Well, if you think back to the beginning, like Miss Anderson was saying, they really are. They're just pushing, and we push very quickly so they can get up to those levels that they need to be at by junior high to be competitive with the other students in our area. So we're going to begin our concert tonight with a piece called Star Splitter at Fanfare. It's by Brian Balmages, and he is a great, very popular composer right now, and almost anything I've heard him write has been absolutely amazing. So this is a great way to start our concert tonight, and it's Star Splitter Fanfare. Okay, tonight is really about the success the students have had this year. So we're going to do just a few little announcements in between each of the pieces, so you kind of know what your students have been accomplishing in class every day. I'm going to invite the other band directors up if they would like to announce their students on pass-offs or explain how pass-offs work in their class. Many of you know that many of your students have been trying to get those stickers. Those stickers on the pass-off board become so important. It is such a way to show progress, accomplishment, achievement, and a lot of those kids work over and over. They're sending us emails, and we're trying to get back to them and listen and make sure that they're getting better and progressing, and many of them have done such a great job this year. I'll go ahead while the other directors are coming up, and I'll read my list. In my oboe class, all 4 young ladies have passed off their red book, so if they would stand up: Anna Bisbee, Rebecca Darville, Valeria Quintanilla, Clarissa Rodriguez, and our bassoonist, Courtney McGarr. Ladies, if you would stand up, and then just remain standing. Courtney's right behind me. Okay, going on to my 5th period clarinet class: Allison Barron, Kylea Easter, Colby Gaynor, Andrea Gonzalez, Haley Greer, Brenda Hernandez, Carla Herrera, Lucero Herrera, Jamie Holiday, Crystal Langren, Alicia Locaball, Sandra Madewell, Jessie Marones, Valeria Ramirez, Diana Ramos, Wendy Rodriguez, Emily Sanchez, Ashley Serratos, and Erica Williams. Those are my 5th period clarinet students who have passed off all their red book. In my saxophone class: Brian Araujo, Jacqueline De La Rosa, Jonathan Estridge, Austin Howard, Alexis Lemus, Jason Liu. Okay, those students have passed off the red book. In trumpet, 2nd period, 100% of them have passed off: Mackenzie Brown, James Carroll, Andrew Gaddison, Jason Herrera, Braden Irvin, Kayla McCollum, Jacob Reigel, Daniel Rivas, Jasmine Sierra, and Anderson Torres. In my sixth period class of trumpets, John David Cousins, Jonathan Graciano, Gabriel Hernandez, Gabriel Martinez, Sylvester Mesa, Eric Montoya, Brenda Sanchez, Annabelle Yumana Calderon, and Jorge Zavala have passed off the Red Book. And in my French horn class, 100%, so it's a big deal when 100% of the kids succeed and pass that off. Angel Bangus, Dylan Crawford, Selena Hernandez, Rosario Martinez, Tristan Noriega, Luz Ramirez, Kay Ramsey, Nikolai Rees, and Marissa Williams. In baritone class, Jonathan Gaines, Liliana Rodriguez, Edgar Salas, Edwin Lara, and Corbin Mikolachki. Okay, and I'm going to invite, so we're going to let you all continue to stand so we can applaud all of your accomplishments at the end.
In the flute class, we have Elizabeth Berg, Sadie Buttram, Peyton Height, Elena Lobaton, Dulce Martinez, Brenda Nunez, Jessica Ramirez, Shaisa Smith, Brianna Torres, and Jamilith Vega. In the clarinet 8th block, we have Riley Bunch, Jesus Castillo, Elizabeth Cortez, Ariana DeTroya, Aide Gonzalez, Paola Hernandez, Alexis Carr, Ana Legena, Natalie Licon, Cynthia Martinez, Mariela Perales, Saraí Barroso, Vivian Post, and Blake Ryder.
Good evening. My name is Chris Church. I teach the trombone and tuba class, and I have 9 students who are within 2 of getting their pass-offs done. But guess what they'll want to work on tomorrow, I'm sure. In the trombone section, we have Edith Gonzalez and Osvaldo Leonardo. And in the tuba class, Giovanni Alberto.
All right, so, and here in a moment, Mr. Morris is going to come up. In percussion class, they do their pass-offs just a little bit differently, so he will be coming up here in a little while to talk about how he does that when he presents his trophies. But for now, can we go ahead and all of the students who are up here, that is like such a great accomplishment, and we're so proud of your commitment to it and your growth. And you all can be seated. Okay, we're going to move on to a piece of music that is relatively new as far as band music. And when I heard it online this year, it was one of the director's choices, and I thought, I've just got to try this out. And I think it's been a real fan favorite from our students, from our directors, and I wouldn't be surprised if you hear it again somewhere in the district as your students get older, because it's a really cool march. It features our clarinet section about halfway through, and it's called Baywood March, and it's by Robert L. Lee. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to ask our directors to come back up, and we each get a chance to present 2 words per class. It's something that's always difficult to do, but it's something it's kind of like you have to watch all year long and look for that student who's kind of that rising star, but you also look for that student who sometimes just continues to flourish and flourish and flourish, and you see that dedication to getting better. You know, some of it, I will tell you, when I started in band, I had a pretty easy time. But as I teach, I see some of those students who have an easy time, they kind of get to their hurdles later on. And some of our students, they arrive at their hurdles very early. And so I see that where they get a little bit frustrated that, oh, this other person's getting it better. They must be better than me. No, not necessarily. Sometimes the hurdles come early and sometimes the hurdles come late. I always kind of like it when those students who have the hurdles, they get past it. They learn that it's not just immediate gratification. It takes work, and as they start seeing that, they grow and they develop. And after all these 22 years of teaching band, that's why I still do what I do. It's not just about the music. It is about digging deep and pushing past the hurdles and the obstacles in life. Sometimes it's easy to do, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes everybody else seems to be passing you by when you're back here trying to get over a hurdle, but we all have to keep pushing through. And when we do that, then that reward that we get from doing that is just greater and greater and greater. So we'll have an Outstanding Musician Award in each class, but we'll also have a Director's Award, and that director is going to talk about why they chose that student. The students right now have no idea who's won the award, so they're all sitting there kind of in suspense. So if I can have the directors help me, and I'll call Mr. Alonzo up first, and he'll introduce his students.
Hello, I'm Mr. Alonzo. I teach the flute class, and I teach one of the clarinet classes. The first class I'm going to talk about is my flute class. My outstanding flute student goes to my student who has gone above and beyond and is always prepared and always seems to have everything ready to go and has just all of her pass-offs done and just always the next day is like, I can play this scale. Awesome. I love that. So my award was going to go to Sadie Buttram. My Director's Award is going to go to someone who has worked very, very hard on the flute. This student, since day one, struggled very much to make a sound. And she never gave up. She would come after school every day for 2 weeks straight until we can figure out how to make a sound. And once she got a sound out, we put her flute together, and she was able to make a sound. I would hold the flute while she blew until she made a beautiful sound. And now, she probably has one of the best beautiful sounds in the class. So this award is going to go to someone who never gave up and is at the very top of her class. And that will go to Jessica Ramirez.
During ninth block every day, it's probably not the best time to be in one of my classes because I've pretty much seen all of these kids, and then these 5 beautiful young ladies come in, beautiful personalities, very different, eclectic personalities, and some days, man, I am ready and charged up for it, and some days I'm like, okay, just sit there and listen and nobody say a word. But these students have kind of lived with me all year long, and we've gotten really close. It's a fun class, and the personalities are just as different. In the young ladies who are in that class, they are just so different. There's one young lady, and this is going to get my outstanding double reed, and I combine the oboes and the bassoon into this category, is a young lady who loves to give me compliments on how well I play, and loves to give me compliments on how successful that I play the and I'm just kidding. She will say things like, Mr. Darrow, your pinkies aren't relaxed. Mr. Darrow, don't you think it would be better if you tried that on clarinet than on oboe? She has just continued to progress and make outstanding progress. She constantly meets the challenges that she has on the instrument, and she'll let you know if she likes the music. She'll let you know if she doesn't like the music. But there is no doubt she always accomplishes and does her best to do her excel on what she's doing. My outstanding double reed student is Valeria Quintanilla. Okay, and there is a student in this class who has to be very, very patient. And sometimes I worry that she kind of gets the short end of the stick because I have 4 oboes and 1 bassoon. And it's quite different to teach those 2 instruments during one class. Lots of different techniques and things like that. So she's patient, but every time I'm ready to hear her play, she's got her part down. She has been very steady all year long, and we're very proud of the progress she's made, and hopefully she'll continue on. My Director's Award goes to Courtney McGar.
He's so tall. And in my clarinet class, my outstanding award is going to go to a student who, in the first history of since I've been teaching clarinet, has ever challenged me for my spot. The students get to challenge their way up the chairs if they're not happy with what chair they are. And every year, I offer the flute class and the clarinet class to challenge the director if they would like to. The flute class does it almost every year, and they have been the closest to beat me since flute is not my main instrument. But clarinet is my main instrument, so the clarinet class has never challenged me. But this year was different. This year was the first year I had a clarinet student challenge me, and it was very surprising. It was very good, and I was a little nervous, but I played it, and I was like, thank goodness. So this one goes to a student who has been above and beyond, has set an awesome example for everybody else in the class, and it will go to Jesus Castillo. I think this is the one that clarinets think they know who it's going to go to, but they don't. This is my Director's Award, and this one's going to go to a student who every day surprises me. Some days, the student says something, and I'm just like, what? What are you talking about? Or some days, the student will come in, and they know everything, and I'm very confused. It's like one day it's good, one day it's bad, but it progressively gets better, and the student has one of the most beautiful sounds, and I don't think the student even knows it. This student has so much potential. I'm going to call this student the dark horse, and maybe one day the student will realize that if the student tries really hard, they could be at the top of the class. So this award goes to Seraí Perez.
Okay, I promise we're going to talk faster now, okay? Not that we're trying to take away from the students at all, but we want to move along. Okay, so the next class that I'm going to present is my 5th period clarinet class, and I just want to say to all of them, and they know this, the sounds that they make are just great. It's one of the best clarinet classes I've had in years, and it's nothing that I've changed about what I'm doing. It's just that it's an exceptional bunch of students, so I am hoping that these clarinet students realize, comparatively speaking, how outstanding of a job they're doing in both classes, honestly, and I'm really hoping they're considering going on because they just sound great, and I think that's exampled by the music that you heard when we featured actually not just the clarinets, but also the French horns I left you all out a moment ago, so there's your like public acknowledgement, and you all did really awesome too. In my clarinet class, my outstanding clarinet student is a young lady who has continued to work. She is a quiet but very dedicated leader. She is super committed to what she's doing. She doesn't want to perform anything without it being perfect. And as like many of them, I'm very proud of her ability to stay at the top of the section throughout the year and continuing to get better even though she's already there. So my outstanding clarinet player is Erica Williams. And as all teachers love to have a little ray of sunshine, well, I have several rays of sunshine in there. This young lady, she always steps in, and it's like no matter what, and I think it's because she knows other people who work in education, and so she knows the stressful days and the look of stressful days, and no matter what, she's always just very pleasant and very helpful, and wants to always be just right on top of what she's doing. And so my my director's award goes to Allison Barron. I kept hoping, this is the next class I'm going to do is the saxophone class, and I kept telling them they are the quietest saxophone class I have ever had as far as they come in. For the first semester, they just sat there. When they came in, they got their stuff out, they sat there, they were so polite. And I said, I'll be a lot happier when you guys start kind of coming in, getting that initiative to start playing and warming up. That's all it took. These kids come in, they're excited every day. They are super competitive with each other. And this saxophone class has turned out to be a really exceptional class because of just the growth that all of them have experienced, and I love their competitiveness with each other. My outstanding saxophone student is someone who has just continued to work hard. We've looked at many different ways to help improve sound and technique, and no matter what, he continues working on those things and does a lot of self-evaluation to make himself better. My outstanding award there goes to Austin Howard. My director's award goes to probably one of the most stylish people in the class. I have to say that just about every day I'm like, wow, he really dresses from head to toe like he's dressing from head to toe. Great personality, great student, and every once in a while he'll come up and for the students who are in front of him, he just surprises everybody, and he's like, I've been kind of secretly practicing, and I'm going to beat you on this, and he does. And everybody's like, oh, man. So he does a great job in inspiring the other students in the class, and he inspires me. He's a great student and a great personality, a great dresser, Brian Araujo. All right, since I'm there most of the day, I have most of the awards. I'm going on to my trumpet class. This is my second period class, how I start my morning each morning. Our outstanding student, she's had relatives in the band program before. She was one of the first ones who started sending me pass-offs by email. And the very first thing in the morning, did you get it? Did you get it? Okay, when are you going to reply? Okay, and she's just, although she is very busy in multiple things in school, she is also super dedicated to what she's doing in our band class as well. And so my outstanding goes to Mackenzie Brown. My second student probably dreads the days that her dad and I get together or see each other because we start talking band and we just talk band and talk band and talk band. And there's no doubt that he's very involved with his daughter and improving. I know they sit and play trumpet together a lot, and his daughter has just continued to improve. She had the challenge this year of having braces put on halfway through the year. And I told her, I said, it's going to be tough, but I want you to push on and keep doing it. And she has, and she sent me another 3 pass-offs last night in her advanced book. And so I'm very proud of the accomplishments that she's made and pushing through those hurdles that I was talking about earlier. My director's award for second period trumpet goes to Kayla McCollum. All right, sixth period trumpet class. Have two students who are just awesome young people, and I've enjoyed having them this year. Our outstanding trumpet player moved up from about the middle of the section and just one day just went all the way up. Has a beautiful sound on trumpet, continues to keep working and striving to be his best. And that would be Gabriel Martinez. Thanks for everything this year. Keep working. And my director's award goes to a student who is just probably one of the most respectful young men that I've had this year. It's always yes sir, no sir, how do I get better? And all of a sudden something just started changing. He started coming in a little bit after school, and just all of a sudden he developing into a great player, has worked up to the top of the section as well. And my director's award goes to Sylvester Mesa. We're getting to the end of mine. Outstanding French horns. French horn was probably the instrument that I have always been the most intimidated by. I followed a wonderful French horn teacher. When I came to Helen Tyson, I thought, okay, if nothing else, I have to make sure that the French horns live up to Miss Reynolds' French horns. And I've fallen in love with the French horn, just the instrument of it, and it's probably because it was a challenge to me. It was something I had to dig into and get better. Through that, I've had some wonderful times with the students in developing. French horn is an instrument you have to be very patient with in the beginning, and I tell the students it's going to take a while. Our hurdles are right out of the gate, and we have to work through those. And I've had some students who continue just to excel. My outstanding student this year is a huge helper. Sometimes I think she wishes I would just go in my office and let her teach the class, and I'm just kidding about that. But she is a super big helper, and she's always wanting to make not just herself better, but the class better. My outstanding student is Marissa Williams. Okay, and my director award goes to a student who is kind of a quiet, gentle presence in the room, but when she plays beautifully. She plays from the heart. She plays with just, you always know everything she's doing. It starts here in her heart, and it comes out through that instrument, and it's been that way since day one. I remember her coming in at the beginning of the year, and I mean, just made such a great impression on her. The commitment she was making just from the time she met me, and that commitment has been unwavering this entire year, and I'm very happy with her progress. And to announce her as my Director's Award for French Horn class, and that's Nicolaya Reeves.
Something we'd like to come back and remind the students about, these awards are really looking at September through now. Sometimes we get emotional and think, but I'm playing really good right now. And we want to say something like, but 4 months ago, maybe not quite what you think. They've all improved tremendously. I wish, if you all have any recordings of the Christmas concert, listen to those or watch the video and then watch tonight. And I think you're going to see an improvement out of all of them. The reason I say what I just did, with the trombone class, if I gave them out on improvement and the way they're playing right now, I'd have to give out about 10 or 11 awards, and that's not really fair to anybody there. But the outstanding trombone student, no shock to the class, Osvaldo Leonardo. He doesn't like to be embarrassed. And the Director's Award goes to somebody who, right behind him all the way, has been there and even fighting through the wires on the teeth dental work and didn't slow him down at all. The Director's Award goes to Edith Gonzalez.
I'm going to go ahead and present the Outstanding Baritone Award for the baritone class. And this is a class that actually meets at the same time as tuba class. So we have a baritone class going, a tuba class going, and then somewhere else a clarinet class going. So our band room stays very busy all day. This student has always wanted to push ahead. He's really identified himself kind of as a leader. He is very, very much one of those who's very intrinsically driven. Not only has he finished his red book, he's done a lot of work on getting through his blue book, and I think he's pretty darn near finishing off all of his 14 all-region scales, and I'm sure that F major chromatic is going to be coming really soon. My outstanding baritone student is Jonathan Gaines. Put up with all that to get that. All right, and my director's award goes to a student who has a beautiful sound. And sometimes I probably make the most crazy comments, and I look at all the kids in the room, and I look over there, and this student is the only one who's smiling and either gets it or is like, okay, he really is as crazy as I thought he was. One of the things that impresses me is her consistency, her commitment to being great on her instrument, and having to put up with all of my crazy jokes in class. This award goes to, and this is the director's award, goes to Liliana Rodriguez.
From day one, a natural tuba player. That's about all I have to say. My outstanding tuba player goes to Giovanni Alberto.
Hello, my name is CJ Morris. I have the privilege of teaching the beginning percussion class during the 7th period. It's been super fun to watch these guys go from picking up the sticks for the first time to playing what they're doing on stage right now. So our pass-off system is a little bit different. They have to be proficient at snare drum and a keyboard instrument, and so it is pretty taxing on them. No one has achieved all the pass-offs yet, but there are a few weeks left of school, so I know that some of them will achieve that goal. Last year, I had the idea to do an outstanding girl percussionist and outstanding boy percussionist. I thought this year it was appropriate to do the same awards. So I'm basing it off overall performance in class and overall attitude and work ethic. So I am happy to announce the outstanding girl percussionist as Hallie Kirk. And the outstanding boy percussionist as Inovi Villarreal.
Okay, and just really quick, we're going to insert something into the program here. You know, at our school, if you haven't noticed, one of the things that we think is very important to instill in the students is awareness, community awareness, how to be involved in the community, to look for different areas where they can serve. That's what Springdale is built on. It is our ability to come together as a community. I can tell you one of the first impressions I had of this community was at 7 years ago, at the first teacher opening of the school year. And I looked at all of the businesses that were there providing all sorts of things for our students, things for the teachers. This community is about giving and supporting one another. And I love at this level, at middle school, and particularly Helen Tyson Middle School, how we get our students aware of the different areas that they can help in, serve in, and that becomes a passion in your heart. Giving and helping is a passion that we help develop, and it's one that I think just shows great character. I'm going to invite some students up from the East Lab, and I believe maybe the art department. They're going to visit with you just very briefly, and then they've got a short video presentation to show you.
Hi, I'm Riley. This is Ariana. We are 7th grade East students who decided to do a project to help out animals in need. We partnered up with Big Paws of the Ozarks.
Big Paws of the Ozarks is a nonprofit organization. They take in and rescue stray dogs. They first foster them, and then they find a forever home.
The video you're about to watch has 6 puppies in it. The puppies were found in an abandoned house along with 6 other puppies. The owners left them in the house to die. People found them in the house and rescued them. All 12 puppies were eventually adopted thanks to Big Paws.
I'm the president of Big Paws of the Ozarks. We're a nonprofit dog rescue because there is a big need in Arkansas for rescuing strays. We've got a lot of strays in the area. Our shelters are overpopulated, and I just felt like I needed to help our community. It's been 20 years. I started with the Humane Society in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and when I went in there and saw what they were doing, saw what they could do to help these animals in need, it's kind of what drove me. My actual first rescue is probably Bubba and my other dog Gideon, who we lost about a year ago. And when I got them, it just made even more sense to help out as much as I could. So that gave me the decision to start the nonprofit, start rescuing more, start helping out, because dogs like Bubba, he's one of the best dogs I've ever had, and I can't imagine him roaming free and not having a home to live in. We rescue mainly large dogs over 40 pounds. We sometimes take in small dogs. We are foster based right now only. We have foster homes that take in our dogs that we get from the shelters. We get from owner surrender, and we take in strays as well. And hopefully in the next couple of years we will have a facility, a barn, so that we can rescue more. That's the reason why I do it. That's my goal, and this is my passion. So when we find a good home for our dogs, I can't express into words how I feel. It's exciting, and it's to see the faces of the families that these dogs go to. They're excited about it. The dogs are excited. Again, it's overwhelming. We need foster homes, people that can take in dogs when we rescue them, and they foster them until we do find a forever home for them. And they let us know about the dogs. They let us know if they get along with their dogs. They let us know if they get along with cats. They let us know if they're housebroken. We also need volunteers to help when we do have a barn with cleaning the kennels, feeding them, playing with them, which is a hard job. And then obviously we always are needing donations. Donations are needed for medical costs. All money goes to our dogs. Again, it goes to medical costs, it goes to food, it goes to shelter, just taking care of our dogs. We vaccinate all of our dogs. We get them up to date on shots, we spay and neuter them, we microchip them, we take care of any health problems they have when they come in, which includes deworming, really anything, if they've got allergies, if they've got any scars from being strays. So average cost is about $250 for our dogs when they go to the vet. Barns so that we can foster more dogs, rescue more dogs, keep going and keep doing it, and do whatever we can for the community.
We went on a field trip to see Shannon and talk to her about the organization. We took the videos and photos that you saw in the video. We did a penny drive in our school against each advisor. We raised $819.16. $500 went to Shannon, and the rest went to the Rogers Humane Society.
We made t-shirts in class with some of the rescue dogs on them. We also made dog tags that people can buy and tote bags.
One of the shirts we are selling has a dog named Kevin on it. The story of Kevin is that he was tied to a tree because the owners didn't want to take care of him. His Chihuahua brothers and sisters lived in the house and could run inside and outside of the house. Kevin saw them having a happy life. His fur is big and fluffy, and when the people found him, his fur was matted. He now lives happily in Memphis.
This project meant a lot to us because we wanted to give back to our community and help out animals in need.
At this time, we will pass around a bowl so you can make donations to Shannon and her organization. Make sure on your way out to look at the things we are selling and purchase something. All the money will go to Big Paws of the Ozarks. Thank you for your time.
It is so awesome to see when our students are involved in so many things, and particularly when it's about serving others and making our community a better place. So we hope you'll consider supporting that. Our next piece that we're going to play, and I know that you're ready to hear more music, and I definitely am ready to conduct more music, and they're ready to play more music, and we're going to move on to a piece called Antiquitous. Pretty cool tune. Next, very short presentation. On April 20th, April 21st, April 20th, we had 80 different events from this band. That's solos, ensembles, group events that went and earned gold and silver medals. That kind of equates to a superior or an excellent division. And some of our students wore their medals tonight, but students, if you participated in the Solo and Ensemble Festival at Southwest Junior High a few weeks ago and earned a medal, would you please stand up? It is our students' first opportunity to compete as 7th graders in the band, and our students did excellent. They did such a great job. We were proud of their behavior, proud of their performances, and hope that they continue doing things like that because it really does strengthen that individual level of playing. Students, you can sit down, but again, thank you for your great work. Mr. Church would like to come up and briefly just talk to you a little bit about transition to junior high school. He'll keep it brief, but at the same time, we feel like this is important information that you need to know so that your student gets a great start as they go on to the next level in band.
Okay, students, I hope you can hear this too. And for those of you in the audience, Mrs. Anderson talked at the very beginning of the concert about how important it is to keep kids involved in what they do at school, not just go to school and go home. You hear music teachers and band directors in general talk a lot about things that band teaches besides discipline, self-discipline, mental focus, eye-hand coordination, teamwork, working closely with others, not to mention working in a large group, and having enough self-discipline to sit on stage as long as these kids have and be as quiet as they can, even though a couple of them need a little bit of assistance. But here's some facts that I'm hoping will hit the adults in the room, if not the students. Nationwide, I want that to sink in for a minute. Nationwide, students in band have an attendance rate that's 8.2% higher than those that are not in band. Their grade point average is just under 1 full point higher than students that are not in band at 0.96. 1 point doesn't sound like much, but on a 4.0 scale, 1 point is enormous. They have a graduation rate of 13.5% higher than students that are not involved in it. When they take the ACT test as a junior or senior, nationwide, band students average 2.5 to 3.5 points higher on the ACT test than students that are not involved in it. On their SATs, between 200 to 300 points. And just so you all know, this information is coming from a Harvard think tank at Harvard University. They have the highest acceptance rate, are you ready for this? Into medical school as a music major. But if you think a minute about eye-hand coordination, work closely with others, it makes a lot of sense. So that is one of the many benefits why we encourage kids from the 7th and 8th grade especially to continue in band and see what goes on at the junior high level. The next time we kind of bring that to their attention is when they go from 9th grade into their sophomore year, and they can come over and play in one of the 4 concert bands here at HAR-BER, our marching, the incredible marching band program that we have here. So again, depending on what their schedule has on it, we can get it added if it was left off back in February, because February is a very difficult time of the year to schedule what they want to do next year. And before I give the microphone back to Mr. Darrow, we're going to do something. I believe it took place over the weekend. Sometimes we do this to the kids in class, and they're embarrassed, so why not to embarrass Mr. Darrow? And now you know why they're in band. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I hit the big 2-6 this year, 26. Yeah. We're going to be finishing our concert shortly. We have not been able to, just for the last couple of years, we didn't get an opportunity to program it. So we are going to end with our school song. So if you know the Helen Tyson Fight song, One important thing is that you yell TYSON right in the middle. You'll know right where to do it. We'll help you out. Before we leave, I want to thank our great administration at Helen Tyson Middle School, Ms. Stephanie Anderson, Brittany Hickman, and Chris Venters for their just ongoing support. You heard Ms. Anderson talk about how important she feels about music, how our students feel about it, and they show that every day in what they do and how they work with us. So I'd like to thank them. I would also like to thank our school board and Dr. Rollins for giving me an opportunity to come to Springdale and work. I have truly enjoyed it. I wake up every morning thinking about what is it that I'm going to do to challenge the students, and I usually come home thinking, wow, in some ways they're really challenging me, and so I felt like some of my greatest growth as a teacher has been right here in Springdale schools, and it's just been a great opportunity. So thank the school board, Dr. Rollins, and thank you all for continuing to support what we're doing at Helen Tyson Middle School. I'd also like to take just a moment and thank Mr. Ford and the band department, Mr. Irwin and the choir department, and all those who are in charge of helping get the room ready for us today. We walked in and the chairs were set, the stands were set, and we could just sit down and start playing, which brings me to right after the concert, right after we finish this last piece of music, the students are going to, they know what to do to get their instruments put away and what you need to do to get the instruments loaded back on the truck. But parents, if we have any of you who want to get out of here quicker, okay, we would totally appreciate some help stacking the chairs and getting them moved off of the stage. Many hands make for light work, so if we can get several of you up here to help with that, we will get you on your way quicker and us on our way quicker, and that would be great. Last thing is we do have DVDs on sale in the lobby. We also have, some of you heard that we did a Chop Saver. We have 30 tubes of Chop Saver left. It's $5. We need it gone tonight. You can find it right out at where the DVDs are. Students who would like to have some for the summer, talk parents into getting some. We need all that Chop Saver gone today or tonight so we can have that money for the band. So that would be awesome if you could support us. We will finish out tonight with our Helen Tyson fight song. Feel free to stand up and clap, stretch your legs, sing along, whatever. Thank you for being here tonight.